I'm calling this my 5-yard baby quilt because I chose just 5 yards of fabric and made a completely reversible quilt. So
True Blue Quilts is a place to enjoy, experiment, and excel as you quilt. Hit the subscribe button and join me every Friday for a new quilting tutorial.
sometimes you hear reversible quilt and it's just a plain fabric on the other side, but this I actually cut one of the fabrics, the focal fabric, into a small panel, and I added borders to it with 2 of the accent fabrics, and then I used the rest of the fabric to make the other side in equilateral triangles. And I do have some scraps of the triangles left over, so it doesn't quite use the whole 5 yards, and I did set aside the ½ yard for binding ahead of time, so I've got scraps of that as well. But this worked up really quickly and easily. You didn't have to worry about running out of fabric or anything. But yeah, that was just a lot of fun to lay that out. So, like I said, I used 5 different fabrics. I had my focal fabric, and then I picked a companion cloud print, and then these 3 colors that also show up in some of the balloons have the green and others have that yellow, and I like the dark blue with the basket and in the clouds there too. Just makes a nice soft gender neutral baby quilt. So for the parents out there that want to be surprised, this makes a great baby quilt, and then showing off the fun focal print there in the middle with just some 2 simple borders. So
your fabric choices really help personalize the quilt. Whenever I am giving a quilt as a gift, I love to use the fabrics that showcase the person's likes and favorite things. The main print can guide all your other color selections just by pulling out some of the various shades that you see in that novelty fabric. Wander all over the quilt store. You can see I've mixed some batiks with other prints and some solid looking colors, so you're going to find treasures in every aisle. Talk about an easy construction. Cut your novelty print to any size from ½ yard to a full yard will give you a nice baby or child size quilt. Put a couple small borders on it. I like to have a bright color as an accent border, and then a little bit larger secondary border to finish that off, and you've got a great quilt. Another design that looks harder than it really is to put together is equilateral triangles. You can make these any size, so you can throw in smaller triangles and larger triangles. I have seen this pattern called the 1,000 pyramids, but at this smaller size it uses less than 500, so we won't call it 1,000. But straight seams to put together, get yourself a 60-degree triangle template and have some fun with triangles.
I just sewed them together, keeping a fairly consistent order, you know, of the dark blue next to the balloons and then the green next to the clouds. So I did get some areas where it could have been a little more random placement. So if you've got all your triangles, you could lay them out first and then adjust the placement of everything and then keep your row sets together as you sew. But it was a lot of fun to do that. And then I just used the continuous line quilting design. And the way you do that, if you've never seen this, it's a very quick and easy free motion quilting pattern. Start Starting on one edge, you go up and down across the sides, and with triangles you do have to travel across that ceiling. But even if it were squares, you would go up one side, across, down the other side, and then same thing. Back up the side, across the top, down. Up and down in the other triangle, and then up across the bottom and down. And once you get to the other side following that continuous path, you can just come back across the bottom of each triangle to the other side with your starting point, and you don't have to break your thread. Then you
The vertical seam lines in your piecing become the walls, and the top horizontal line is your ceiling, so you always want to travel along the walls and the ceilings first, and then backtrack along the floor so that every seam has a curve across it.
I hope you've got some inspiration for your sewing, and continue to have a great day. Thanks. I'll see you soon.
If you'd like to try your own version of a 5-yard baby quilt, the pattern is available for digital download in my online shop at truebluequilts.com. I've listed some other beginner-friendly quilt patterns in the videos you see on your screen. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.